Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our coverage of the HCS Pro Series Week 2. And we've gone through all the competition now, the round of 16, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and now we're in the finals. Our two teams, Notorious and Cartel, are just waiting for this game to start. It's going to be a good one here. I, of course, am Joe Sketch, and this time around, Notorious easily sweeping through Mocket in our semi-finals game we just saw on stream, and Cartel losing their first map of season 2 against Team Name on the stream. So if anything, it's building up to be a good one here. Notorious looking on fine form, and Cartel looking like they might be slowing down a bit. I mean, they're still a very tough team, and it's going to be tough task for Notorious to take down this competition, but it's not quite necessarily a David versus Goliath as one would expect when this tournament started today. I mean, I hope you all guys are having a quality Saturday evening here, and we're just thank you all for tuning in to the Europa Halo stream. We're just waiting for that first part of the game, but let's have a look at those maps. So as we're looking forward, it's going to be Oddball, Echelon to kick things off, and Oddball Echelon's a bit of a game which can go either way. Quite difficult to get those initial setups, and going to be a lot of contested time for that ball. Slayer Rig being our game 2, Strongholds Empire being our game 3, and another one which can go either way. Pit Control being a massive one, but a one which can be sort of turned on its head almost as well. CTF Column, and if we get to that game 5, it's going to be Slayer Plaza. So last time out, we saw Cartel 3-0 Mocket in the final. This time up against a new opposition in Notorious, a new resurged opposition as well. There's been some crazy sort of heated back and forth between Notorious and Mocket in the Twitter sphere, and Notorious came out on top this week. But it's not just me here. I'm not the only one talking here. We've got our two wonderful casters with me. That's going to be Harry Wonderboy Shannon and Richie Shersey Sheridan as well. And just going into this one, knowing that Cartel have dropped that map in the semi-final, and just knowing how well Notorious played in their semi-final match, do you think that this game is going to be a bit closer than one would expect?
Well, last time these two teams coming up against each other in an oddball game type was last season, and all power needed was 4 seconds of ball time to win the game, and somehow, some way, Cartel managed to get back what must have been 60 or so seconds in that space of time and clutched up the game. And Harry said at that point that Notorious had snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Now, I couldn't have put it a better way. Harry, what way do you see it going this time around?
Well, what I really want to say, Richie, is the fact that, this is Europa Halo's coverage of the HCS Pro Series, Halo 5 Pro Series, whatever you want to call it. So I can say stuff like Tottenham Hotspur are going to be top of the league but coming back to the Halo, sorry for any City fans in here currently. I honestly don't know how much we can read into Cartel losing that one game in the semi-finals, because I tuned into their game 4, I believe it was, and on Oddball they just played. I think it was on Fisher, and I tuned in, and the score was 149-40. So I'm not sure if we can build this narrative about Cartel, starting slow, or maybe they're starting to slow down. Maybe there are attentions elsewhere. Sure, it looks nice on paper, Cartel struggling in a semi-final, but this is the final. We have not seen Cartel lose a final since, what was it, the second Open Cup in Series 1 or Season 1 in the Halo 5 Pro Series, which was a good, I want to say, a couple of months ago now. Yeah. And Legend wasn't even on the team. So for me, I think Cartel is still going to be favorites in this series. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it wrong. Notorious, as we said before at the start of the stream, they're on a bit of a revenge tour. They've avenged the loss of Mocket, which they have failed to beat in the last 2 tournaments. Now it's about if they can best Cartel. They have a shot here in the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry. I do think that Cartel is still going to be that team to beat. The question really for the sides of Notorious is, what do they need to do? What strategies can they pull, and what strategies can they pull off to try and topple the tower of Cartel as we're loading on into our first game? First game here, Oddball, Echelon, the real sort of way to kickstart the series here. get a good start for Notorious, and we're going to see them hopefully try and push forward. But Cartel is still going to be the scary team they have been in all the other cups so far. I'm going to throw it over to the casting duo of Jersey and Wonderboy. Take it away, boys.
Much, Joe. And Oddball Echelon, of course, is our map number 1. It's all about controlling the outside, getting that ball up around the pipes area, getting set up, maybe getting yourself a rocket launcher or 2, and maybe some camouflage if the series allows it as well. And Harry touched upon it, and Notorious are on a bit of a resurgence and looking to take some names. They've already taken the scalp of Mucket, where their kryptonite up until this point, and they're looking to be well trained and well drilled. And Jimbo has the ball in his hands already and scoring very quickly, even if it's only for a little while, as he's taken down by SLG.
Statement of intent maybe there from Jimbo, just laying down the gauntlet to Cartel, just saying to them, we came here to score points. And unfortunately for Notorious, they were not able to grab the rocket launcher off the start, but, well, fortunately for them, Notorious are able to kill SLG, and hopefully for them, they'll be able to scoop the rockets up off the floor. Snipe Drone is, well, going to get the rockets until Kimbo comes along and yoinks them away. And this is a really nice start for them. They're ticking up points. Snipe Drone still has camouflage to play with. He's going to put the fear into Seeker. That's a nice assist. And, well, the first 3 kills in the team fight going to Notorious. This is what we wanted to see. They're starting to look a bit human now. Whether or not Cartel are playing slow and having an off day like we were touching upon pre-series, we're going to see here. But the first 30 or so points of the game, Richie, go uncontested and without reply to Notorious.
Great patience from Snipe Drone, playing that camouflage expertly, showing unbelievable trigger discipline not to shoot the players when maybe other players, lesser players, would have been shot a little bit too interested in firing shots. It looks as though immediately this Cartel roster on the back foot, of course, now down by 40 points, and all these scoring going without reply, as Wonderboy touched upon. Legend, though, that's a reply. He's replied to those emails, replied to all as well, as he gets himself a double kill and scoring starts in the form of SLG, no doubt. No, it's actually Shady who has the ball time this time. Shady being one of the players to watch throughout the entire season, as he's been maintaining the highest KDA all throughout, but showing signs of a little bit of weakness against the team name roster. But of course, it was only a Slayer and they only lost by 1 kill, so how much can we really read into that, as camouflage will be up again very shortly, and Snipe Drone no doubt has the time on it and will look to lock and load and pop it into his chest.
They are just looking a little bit blunt currently. They need to sharpen up a little bit. The first 2 kills go in their favor to Cartel, but we just saw Seeker miss a 5 that in previous weeks we would certainly expect him to hit. So Snipe Drone will dive off with the ball. That's going to reset that into the middle of the map, and now Cartel can start scoring. But yeah, some uncharacteristic misses we've seen from some of these players. We expect Legend to get kills, and, well, he's doing that so far. It's just about whether or not Notorious on the other side can prevent that from happening.
Notorious playing pretty well so far, and a little bit slow, a little bit tentative on the side of SLG and Co. And this Cartel roster not normally starting off slow, but this time maybe it's because of the resurgence of this Notorious roster that they're looking a little bit more dangerous now and a little bit more of a threat, and their tails are up no doubt from that last game as Seeker takes down Mose in the kill feed. Shady takes down Jimbo as well, so a couple of kills in their favor, and that should result into some more ball time, which it does, scoring all the while, and they have taken the lead over the last 20 seconds or so in the lead as well. But of course, much of the game still to play, and it could still ebb and flow in either direction. And spotting the ball played off the pipes there expertly as Jimbo and Snipe Drone take down 2 members of the Cartel roster. Legends get down towards this rotation area, and it looks as though he has a gunfight in his sights, but taken down by Jimbo. Couldn't get a trade in any way, shape or form, and now Mose has the ball in his hands.
You're caught in 2 minds there if you're Legend. Do you go in, try and get a trade, or get the death out early so you can regroup with your team on the respawn earlier on? Instead, he tries to make 3 players weak, which wasn't capitalized upon by his teammates. So now that's going to allow a bit more of a scrappy area on the map. Kimbo has just got himself a double kill, as you can see. And, well, with rockets having just come up, Notorious have scooped those up. Jimbo is the player with them, so keep an eye on the kill feed whether or not he's able to convert that weapon into slays, or if Notorious are able to take him down. I believe currently his objective is to try and grab this camouflage, or at least contest it, but All the while, Slays are going down on the map, and it's gotten very, very scrappy. It was a good opening stint from Notorious. They got 40 points uncontested, but Cartel have come back, but it's about to be another lead change any moment now.
Jimbo just uses that last rocket in the barrel, makes sure he gets himself a kill as well, takes down Legend. Mose takes down SLG, and it's just a ball carrier now to contend with, who's squeezing every last inch and every last juice out of that ball time he can, and he does so, manages to keep them within 1 second of the lead and waiting for his teammate to spawn back up, expertly playing that ball at the right time and making sure his teammates can get back on the map and be a factor again before we can see any lead change. But there we go, ball again in the hands of SLG, who tried to do the exact same thing his teammate did before, just buying time for his teammates to get some sort of a setup. But now eventually we do see Jimbo with ball in hand gets that kill, but it's taken down by Shady with a fresh 5, and SLG also hits a 5, so now Cartel starting to hit some shots.
Yeah, Snipe Drone last alive, and he's just gotten a ball to the face, as we've seen from SLG's point of view. I had the front row seats to that engagement, and unfortunately for Snipe Drone, he's going to have to wait a few more seconds to be effective on the map. 6 minute mark approaching, obviously every 2 minutes here on Echelon. Rockets on the minute, and camouflage from 2 minutes when you last picked it up. So there will be a bit of an offset. You're looking for players to try and grab the rockets and then move them over to the camouflage, but all the while that you're seeing these kills in the kill feed go down, and all the while you're seeing Legend move around the map and try and sniff players out, it's been Cartel scoring, and for me, Notorious need to do a little bit better in keeping an eye on that score and seeing when Cartel are getting uncontested seconds, and then you need to start asking the question why that's happening. They were able to get the plate, they've got the first 2 slays and the new ball, but well, if Jimbo goes down off your screens, it could spell trouble. But Kimbo was able to trade him out, and Mose has the rockets, so off-screen, Legend's about to grab up the new camouflage here, and he could be a real thorn in the side of Notorious.
Mose, does he spot him out with the boom barrel? Maybe not as he fires that one, but Legend, of course, falls off the map, and how important can that one misplay be of him falling off the map and Mose missing that rocket? He manages to evade the rocket, but couldn't clamber himself back onto the map, and he falls down into the drink as we hear a splash, and now Mose's body hits the water as well, but scoring all the while for Kimbo as he adds up any more seconds, squeezes the ball time so he can do so. Shady gets a double kill, and now Cartel will look to answer back with some time of their own.
Nice setup break there from Cartel. So tough can be sometimes if you don't have the slays in your favour to break that pipe setup. But look at the kill feed once more. Notorious with the first 2 slays. So Legend's idea here is to get the ball off the map. Mose is able to scoop up that one after Jimbo gets the back smack. So should be another 5 or so seconds going in favour of Notorious here until the first engagement comes in. That's Shady. Jimbo and Mose combining once again to take him down. And, well, they're starting to push in one by one here, Cartel. And if Legend goes down, it could spell danger for them. But the ball's actually rotated into a very difficult position here for Legend and the boys to try and contest, because there's nades coming in, Legend's taken down, Kimbo takes down Seeker, all the while the ball time is going in Notorious's favour. Mose finally goes down, but rockets coming up in 10 seconds. If I'm Kimbo here, I start to think about maybe either rotating that ball outside or moving it towards the rockets to force the team fight in your team's favour. In the end, he did neither. And Shady with the back smack picks up the new ball.
It's always the issue, isn't it? When you bring the ball back inside, the chances and the opportunities to play it become very, very limited. And Kimbo got himself isolated from the rest of his teammates because of that, was not able to play the ball as he would have liked. And the boom barrels go down, but SLG also goes down as well. And we just cannot seem to keep players on the map in this game type. And Snipe Drone has the ball, expertly clambers around the Pelican. Can he play the ball? No, he can't, but he does actually throw the ball towards his teammates. Great work out of him. Camouflage is up. Mose would have spotted it out there, but can he get it into his chest? No, he can't. Jimbo gets a double kill. Make that a triple kill for Jimbo off the kill feed, and that's all 4 dead for Cartel, and that is game, set, and match for Notorious. And what do we have here? Game 1 for Notorious, Harry.
Well, that's the first game they've taken off Notorious off of Cartel in quite some time. And that's going to give them all the confidence. Take a look at the stats here. If you scroll over to the kills, 23 from Kimbo and 21 from Jimbo. The 2 Imbos doing work there for Notorious. On the other side, Shady with 20 kills and a lot of ball time. You'd be looking at Seeker and Legend maybe as we look to hop into game 2 as soon as possible, Richie. They are not messing around. to maybe have a better game too, and maybe that would put you in a better position to win the game if you're Cartel there. But well, game 1 to Notorious, that is not something we expected. If you are joining us for the first time, the reason we're so shocked is because Cartel have been winning tournaments in a perfect fashion. They have not been dropping maps. They absolutely obliterating everyone. And similarly to Mocket, like we saw in the semi-final, it's been a banana peel for Notorious. They have not been able to overcome this Cartel team, and taking game 1 is a great, huge leap in that direction to try and overturn this French juggernaut as we move into game 2.
Great start for Notorious, as they've now won 4 games without reply from either team, a 3 kills to 1 in favor of Cartel. And the one thing that you would say is that even though they were heavily outslayed in that last game, they only lost by, importantly, 30 seconds. As we jump on board with Kimbo, who has the camouflage and the sniper rifle, but Sika down in that yellow bend also has the scatter shot, and them two will avoid each other for a moment. Sika's in big trouble, but Kimbo not paying any attention to him. He has that sniper rifle, gets the body shot, gets the cleanup onto Shady as well, finds the face of Sika, and he's heating up here as he finds the face of SLG as well, and they need to shut him down now before he gets going.
What a huge life this is from Kimbo. Off the start, 3 of his teammates go down. He grabs Snipe and somehow scuttles away with the camouflage. And then does this. This is from such a disadvantageous position. The 5 in a row in terms of kills and bullets for Kimbo. Finally, Sika puts him down, but Robbie, I think, has a point to prove in this series. He does not want to be losing to these types of players online or LAN. It doesn't matter which. He wants to be the best in Europe, as do all of these players. And he's been off the top spot for too long. And I think now, Richie, we're starting to see him maybe put an end to that. But, well, Legend has Snipe, and he's got something to say of his own.
Kimbo for a moment was floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee, but all the while still Cartel up by 6 kills. So try as Kimbo might, Cartel still answer back with kills of their own, and they're up by 5 for a moment. Legend gets himself into an engagement here, up into back down, but Snipe Drone with an expert grenade that lands the feet and takes him out from behind. He had no idea that was happening. Shady also in the respawn screen. Snipe Drone also fades to black and will be back up in a couple of seconds as well. SLG making a play over towards this camouflage. No doubt has the time, but he's there a little bit premature as that grenade banks over the wall and explodes into his face. And he's off to the back down, but he still can't. He plays the price with his life. And now Jimbo, both players of Notorious going for that same camouflage. A miscommunication there, Wonderboy.
I did worry for Notorious, not only with that miscommunication, but also when Snipe Drone went down right as the camouflage was coming up. I did wonder whether or not that would be a premature end of the game to them almost, but they're coming back now. The camouflage was scooped up by them. Jimbo here with 2 kills in a row. He's starting to find his feet in this series as well. And now we're going to see the map maybe slow down just a tad as Notorious try and find the Cartel players outside of the map. Jimbo just caught with a grenade in his hands. Shady just makes that one look easy. Sika taking down Moze, and you need to get out of the habit if you are Notorious in taking 1v1 fights. There's Kimbo trying to take down Shady, but that's not the way you beat this Cartel team, because now you have no players on the map to contest Snipe. You have Sika with the brand new Snipe, absolutely free as a bird to hit these shots, but you can't count on him to miss every single one. It's not going to be a recipe for success for them. So only down by 4 now, Notorious, but the objective here for them is to find Sika and take the Snipe out of his hands as soon as possible.
Kimbo's last death, of course, he found the end of a scatter shot, and that was important because he had the camouflage and he wasn't able to use the rest of that. There was only a little bit of life left in it, but life nonetheless, and he was taken down. And now Sika and Legend and Co looking to answer back with a vengeance in game number 2 and take this to at least a game 4, as they're looking to go toe-to-toe with this Notorious roster who are playing extremely well, as Sika gets a kill onto Snipe Drone. Legend clambers himself up from the sewers and he's faced with a Jimbo in the bunker, but Kimbo hears the call out, hears the cries for help, and drops down and gets the kill. But Shady, SLG, Sika, it doesn't matter, they completely wipe Notorious off the face of the earth, and they will be looking to get them again off the respawn as they spawn outside here, Harry.
Huge slays, huge slays from Cartel. It makes things so much more difficult for Notorious, because Well, Camouflage is coming up. Luckily for Notorious, Kimbo's able to grab that one, but Shady has Snipe. Shady puts him down, and the flank from Legend is what sparked that entire push to collapse on the bunker, and the timing of it was so great. Not only because the Camouflage was coming up, Richie, but also because they knew they had the deaths to play with. Even if they lose that team fight, they are still having a healthy lead. So they weighed up the risk and weighed up the reward. And unfortunately for Notorious, it was such a calculated risk. And well, 41-29 now. Nice shot from Kimbo, but he is again in a 1 versus 2 situation. This one is going to be difficult to come back if you are Notorious. Cartel looking much better here in game 2.
Much better indeed, up by 12 kills, make that 11, and you can pretty much just trade out the rest of the game. And if the first game was a sign of a wobble, well, have they found their balance here once again, looking imperious at the moment. Snipe Drone will no doubt have a fight against this player out on the rails. It is Legend he's faced with. Tower 1 has the help, but importantly, Legend still manages somehow, some way to get that trade. They only need 3 kills now, and it should be a matter of time, a matter of if and not when for this team, as Kimbo caught all alone outside off the respawn, and now Mose gets some shots and gets taken down, importantly as well, by SLG, and it's all looking Millhouse for this Cartel roster.
50-33. It's something the Notorious just seem to be baited into, trying to take these 1 versus 1, 1 versus 2 engagements, whether or not it's a trap laid for them by Cartel, or whether or not they're just banking on their individual abilities. They just can't afford to do that in Slayer games especially. I know you want to be first in the team fight, you want to try and push the pace, but it doesn't work out for them against this team, and we've seen it in weeks previous. Taking a quick look at the stats, Shady, 16 kills, 11 deaths. He had a big game with Snipe. Legend, a much better performance from him as well, 13 and 8. On the other side, some really bad performances. Jimbo, 8 and 15, 6 and 13 from Mo, 6 and 12 from Snipe Drone. It seemed to be only Kimbo really, Richie, that was turning up to that game too. So the advantage has gone now. It turns into a best of 3 for the rest of this series, and Stronghold's Empire is the first game.
Yeah, we're all tied up now, and like Joe said at the start of the series, always come down to this pit area, this bottom middle. That's where it's a bit of a Royal Rumble, and it can all be a battle royale, just bodies flying everywhere, grenades flying everywhere, and overshields, camouflage sprinkled in there as well. It's going to be a cocktail of fireworks and emotion, but SLG is going to get us underway and immediately go towards this camouflage. And can he secure it? Barrels exploding left, right, and center. He is taken down. That's 2 members go down for Cartel, and Shady desperately trying to stay alive. He cannot do so. He is ultimately taken down, and importantly, Mose has the overshield.
I am Cartel. I am worried here. They get 2 kills in the team fight to start off this next set of respawns, but this is one of the best game types I remember seeing Infuse playing, and well, Mo's so unfortunate not to get that trade. I'm asking Microsoft for a refund on my Xbox if that's happening to me, but Jimbo wins a nice fight. That makes things all the more difficult here for Cartel. Snipe Drone grabbing blue means that they will start scoring. The problem is Pit already 3/4 of the way ticked. This is a huge team fight. Snipe Drone's going to have front row seats to 2 different kills, and if I am Notorious here, I maybe start moving towards red, push this triple cap early, and try and put the French lineup on the back foot. That's 2 more kills unreplied by Notorious, but the problem is, look at where they are on the map. They're just sitting on the halfway point. They need to get a little bit closer to red to force the issue here, and the longer they do that, the more breathing room you're giving Cartel, and it's just a little bit slow for me here from Notorious, and it's blue base being stolen away by Cartel. I think they're going to flip the map here, so no damage really done to Notorious, but you need to be a bit quicker here on Empire Strongholds. It's not the type of gameplay I'm used to be seeing from these types of players. They used to be so quick when they played this on the world stage and at international tournaments, but either way, they have the triple cap now, and well, SLG and the boys trying to take individual fights might not go too well for them on this type of game type, because they need to prioritize the objective.
Yeah, something we can actually analyze and dissect as well was Notorious's. They prioritized the bottom middle hill, so although at the start of the game we did see a 1-to-1 trade, importantly Notorious got the pit already secured, so they could afford to send 1 member back towards their own base, and that set us up and that catapulted us, and because that was the first domino to fall, we now see this lead 38-3 in favour of them. Jimbo has got the overshield. Who has the camouflage? Has it been burned already? It's Mose. That's 2 power-ups in control for Notorious. They are looking in great shape at the moment, and like Harry touched upon, this Infused roster love this game type. This isn't the French time stronghold on Eden. This is Empire, and this is where Infused like to play. This is where they called home.
Poor Mose just charged up his plasma pistol, and that gave away his position. Jimbo here, if I'm him, I don't contest this pit. There are too many bodies there. Just try and maybe retake it after you get the slays. There's the second in the team fight. 3 down, and now you start to take the pit. This is much better decision making from Notorious. Legend is taking red, but that doesn't matter because you're taking blue behind you as well if you're Jimbo here. So good decision making. Triple cap for a second, but as I said, red is being taken. But these 2 slays, Jimbo is going in this game, Richie. This is 55-7, and important thing about the power-ups as well, coming up in around 45 to 50 seconds time, the score is currently 4-0 in power-ups to Notorious. That's something that Cartel are going to need to change if they want to try and claw back this game 3. And well, nice shot there from Kimbo.
I just love the way Notorious are playing right now. It seems they're prioritizing all the right things. They're all in sync. We've seen Kimbo go out there and his teammate bait and switch. Just lovely fundamentals of Halo. Get your teammate down to no shields, that's no problem. I'll come around the corner and help you out. They're in so much sync now. It's Justin Timberlake on this team. They're so in sync. But Kimbo gets a kill onto SLG, immediately turns his sights towards another Frenchman. It's Legend. Look, he has no fear in the world, dives into the base, takes down Shady with the help of Jimbo, and now he has a face full of French, but immediately gets taken down by Sika. But he's done enough damage on the map as Legend and Co spawn over towards the blue side. We will again maybe see a trade for red and blue again.
Yeah, and also you have to remember as well, the reason Kimbo challenged that is because we want to keep him weak for the power-ups coming up. I'm looking at the camo fight right now. Shady has grabbed camouflage here for Cartel. I'm not sure where the overshield's gone. It's actually gone to Seeker, so that's much better from Cartel. They have the power-ups in their favor now, and a green gun, I believe, in SLG's hand. So Seeker here doesn't need to worry about having his overshield ripped away by the EMP. And now you start to push the pace if you're Cartel. If you get this kill in Turbine, then you immediately look to maybe help out Blue or find the spawn. That's a horrible team grenade though, but it won't matter. They have a triple cap now. They just have to play Slayer, and this could get very dangerous very quickly here for Notorious, because we know how good Cartel are at just playing in 2s and playing in 1s and winning their individual fights. And well, the boys trying to take blue back might be pinched from behind. Seeker just needs to listen to the call-outs, and all the while this is happening, they're just on split spawns, Richie. Yeah. Seeker is just playing Slayer, and it's going to be so tough for Notorious to stop the triple. They might be able to here with a big fight. In fact, no, the reset comes in on red, so they're nowhere near getting back and breaking this triple cap. 41-81. They have a bit of breathing room, but well, this has been very fluctuating, and they might catch Shady off guard here trying to challenge 2v1, but Legend is contesting on the death screen, and Legend gets the return. Oh my goodness, the reset on blue. The bleeding continues, and the power-ups are coming up once again. We'll see if it's going to be both going to Notorious once more, or excuse me, both going to Cartel, or both going to Notorious.
Cartel just going from port to port, clearing house, just taking out every single person, and once they got control, they've had a firm grip ever since they got that overshield. They got that camouflage. It was a trip cap, and now we will finally see a base momentarily. No, it's still again triple cap in full effect, and this lead has been completely obliterated in the blink of an eye. All it took was a couple of respawn cycles, and here we are at 81-70. But can Notorious bounce back? They knew immediately as the power-ups went to control of Cartel, they were going to be in big trouble, and now Shady has got the overshield again, and will we see rinse and repeat here, Harry?
Okay, lifeline here for Notorious is that Snipe Drone has camouflage, so you have a sneaky player on the map to have your eyes and call the plays, but right now they cannot get a base under them. They finally stopped the bleeding after 80 successive points for Notorious, for Cartel, but they're 3 down again. They're trying to contest pit. Moser's gone down. That's a 4 wipe, and they can push into red so easily here. and capture the triple cap once again. If I'm Legend and Shady, I immediately pressure blue and stop them pushing out, but they don't need to do that. 93 to 81. You have maybe one, maybe two more pushes if you're Notorious, but they got to go quickly, Richie.
Yeah, they've shown already they had unlimited amount of pushes at one point, and now it's been taken down. And it's, look at this, it's just once, like I said before, once they got control, there was no signs of letting go. They had a firm grip, and just like that, Wonder Boy, it's 1-1 in the series, and Strongholds that our next game type is going to look really tasty.
Oh, it's 2-1 now, Richie.
2-1. I'm all over the place.
It's
going to be CTF on Coliseum.
I feel sick watching that. I feel that was a game of two halves, to use the expression. Unbelievable performance from Cartel. SLG, 10 kills, 14 assists. You know he was calling the plays as well with the 8 captures. Legend with 13 kills, 12 assists. That was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, the first half of the game, you see Notorious looking, fresh as a daisy, not looking like they were in any trouble. They were winning the team fights at the right time, in the right areas to grab the power-ups. And I mean, once Cartel got control, they never looked back. It was like Notorious just didn't have the answer to the game style that Cartel was playing. And we know that's the type of performance and the way that we know Cartel likes to play, right? We see it on Oddball so much. They take the 1v1s, the 2v2s, the 2v1s. Once you have control on the map of all the strongholds, you just need to play Slayer. It's like you play an Oddball, but you don't have a ball to worry about. You just find the spawn and then you fly. And that's something Notorious just didn't know how to deal with. And, they're going to have to win game 4 and 5, Notorious, if they're going to win this series, because Cartel, they're one game away.
It was non-stop pressure, and like you say, Notorious just didn't know how to deal with it. Every time they were spawning up and maybe looking like getting a side base, it didn't happen. But Joe, what did we see there? Do you have a giveaway or something for us? Yeah,
we do have our final giveaway of today, and the code I want you to put into the chat is Spilly, our wonderful producer there, to put Spilly in the chat for your chance to win another HCS MCC nameplate there. And yeah, just to add to what you guys are saying about that game, it was just a game of two halves. As you rightfully said, Harry, like your football game, your match, your first half, Notorious, they're there. They've had the Jaffa Cakes, they're on just before the game. They're ready. They're all switched on. There's some intelligent plays, some veteran plays coming through. But then the aggression, the raw power, the just constant pressure from Cartel, something you've seen them do so well in these previous tournaments, just came in. It's like they flipped a switch. Second half, they had their oranges. They had their Jaffa Cakes at half time. They saved them. They came out the second half, fresh legs. Boom, 100 to 81 win at the end. And I'm going to chuck it back on board towards you guys again. Shirzy and Wonderboy, take it away for our game 4 match.
Thanks so much, Joe. And something that I need to get off my chest is word number 1 was sketch. Giveaway word number 2 was Wonderboy, and the last giveaway word was Spilly. I feel like there's some. I'm reading in between lines.
I think I know
here.
What's happened.
I've been snubbed.
I think I accidentally gave away an extra nameplate at one time that was supposed to have your name on it.
Oh!
So I had 2 nameplates. Sorry about that. But to keep on the football analogy, I think Notorious, they need the magic sponge to come out here, because captured the flag on Coliseum. We know Cartel can hit the shots. They need to hit that Shady shot. Was absolutely disgusting. And Jimbo never had a chance to win that fight. And, well, they can start moving the flag here as well. Shady with Snipe needs to watch his back, obviously, for those cave spawns. But with 3 down for Notorious, flag on the move with Seeker, it's going to be 1-0 in under a minute here on Coliseum. Capture the flag.
We have seen Power do similar sorts of things to this Cartel roster as well, in fact, where they can score very early and actually get a 3-0 very, very quickly. And Cartel immediately making it look like they don't want that to happen to them, and they've scored very, very early doors. Within a minute, they're already 1-0, and this is tournament life pretty much for this Notorious roster, so they cannot afford to lose this game type. But it has to be said, this is a very, very strong game type for Notorious. They've looked very, very good in it throughout all of the seasons, as Sika takes down Jimbo, and Legend firing from the DMR side of the window. SLG gets a kill on Kimbo. Mo's and Snipe Drone answer back in anger as well. Shady and Sika taken down for them. Snipe Drone actually makes it 3, and a flag pull of their own, and Legend coming back to try and play a little bit of defense.
Nice bit of bait there from Notorious, knowing Legend was going to try and fly in and play aggressive, just waiting for him to come around the corner, not giving him the eyes on the flag. SLG with a double could make it 3 in a row, but Mose is just going to throw that flag, and unfortunately SLG has seen the entire play, and that's going to be an easy re. While all that's happening as well, the Notorious flag down in bottom middle, and the Notorious players on the respawn means, well, Richie, guess what? It's about to be 2-0 to Cartel, and they just look unstoppable right now. I hate to tell you, we're on Goose Watch. Kimbo, no kills in the game so far.
Yeah, you do need kills to help you secure flag caps, and so far, very uncharacteristically, it must be said, Kimbo has no kills. And we've seen players like Snipe Down in the past scream over the game has started. Has anybody told Kimbo, has his control pad ran out of batteries as he finally comes off the Goose Watch, gets that kill, but SLG takes down Jimbo with the boom barrels, and now Kimbo will get that rocket launcher as well. One left in the chamber, and look to try and immediately secure some sort of map control as he gets a kill onto Sika in the window. There's a player on the outskirts there that he's not aware of, and he immediately takes that fight with Legend up on the rocket side, but has a player to contend with Sika position back base.
Yeah, I think he just spawned there, and it's all because Mose was sitting right here, and Jimbo was pushing in from the snipe side, so the only open spawn on the map was unfortunately right in front of Kimbo. 2 kills though, going in favor of Notorious. This looks a bit more promising for them. They just need to find the overextenders. I'm looking on our third person cam, no overextenders. So this will be a flag capture for Notorious, uncontested, and now it's just about trying to see if Kimbo can get warm with this snipe. Nice stick, hold that for me, buddy. He will be taken down though, and Shady no doubt will be looking for that one.
Rubs blue tack all over that fuzzy grenade and sticks it to the Frenchman and sends him to the respawn screen, but Kimbo was also taken down. Mo's position time and time again, we're seeing him out towards this rocket corner, trying to be a staple point, trying to lay a foundation for any sort of flag pull. Kimbo has the snipe rifle again, snipe drone position, Kimbo again gets another kill, and he must have been hearing us teasing him, Harry, because he's had the fun in 3 faces.
Yep, he's identified the fact that, hey, I had no kills for a while, guys. Sorry, I didn't realize the game started. I think my monitor turned off, or my controller disconnected, or they were DDoSing me or something. I don't know. But either way, he's starting to play now, which we expect the way Kimbo to play. There is a chance here for Notorious to stop this flag. Sika just grabbed the new rockets, but look at the kill feed. 2 kills going to Notorious, and there's 3 down. This could be a back-to-back cap here. Kimbo and his teammate are throwing this flag out the window, and we're all tied up 2-2. Notorious, well, they are unfortunately whiffing beatdowns, and that's going to put all the pressure up the other end of the map. Here goes Shady into the Notorious base, gets the first kill, but for him, he just needs to stay alive here, and if he can, it's going to help his team out massively.
I did fear for a moment as though Notorious might get a little bit overzealous, a little bit too interested in that flag cap, and would throw away any sort of map control. And the way those players on Cartel were positioned from the sightlines of the guy set up in the window, he had no sightlines, could put no damage down, and because of that now, that one particular moment, we now see their flag out as well, and it looks as though Snipe Drone trying to get a recup. Shady down in the basement trying to do some sort of damage. Legend gets a kill onto Mo. Shady makes himself such a difficult kill, down to just a sliver of shield, a sliver of health. Shady somehow, some way manages to keep himself alive. Snipe Drone hits the respawn screen, and Cartel are all set up here. It looks as though it's going to be 3 caps to 2, and that's game, set, and match here, Wonder Boy.
What a life by Shady. That has just won them the Halo 5 Pro Series Open Cup number 2. Unreal. I mean, what a game. That was so back and forth. We saw 5 flag caps in 5 minutes 40 seconds. Absolutely unreal. I mean, from 2-0 to 2-2 to then 3-2 was absolutely crazy. Legend 14 and 12. We didn't see too much of his point of view, but Shady, that last life, I cannot understate how incredible that last life was. To not only win the fight against Jimbo, to then stay alive on the elbow as well, to block those spawns, for Legend to run the flag, to then contest bottom middle, to kill Jimbo again, to stay alive, to then run the flag and capture the flag. That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy. What a play by Shady and Cartel. They're the champs. What's
Something
new?
we have to touch upon is Kimbo. From the time we highlighted he was on a goose, he actually managed to get the same amount of kills as the most kills on his team, and actually only one below the top slayer in the whole game. He actually ended up with 13 kills. So that just cannot be understated how much of a tear he went on after we highlighted that. But the thing I have to say is Shady. Is he arguably the best player in Europe at the moment? People talk about the legend and people talk about SLG, but I think Shady has shown time and time again he's got the goods, he's got the metal to be the best player around. Joe, what do you think of that? What did we just see?
Wow, that was absolutely mental series. And again, Cartel not disappointed. We thought maybe for a second after that first game that Notorious had a bit more bite to them, we thought, but Cartel again just switching it in that Empire Strongest from there on. You think, wow, going into CTF Collie, it looked like it was going to all be controlled. Few flag grabs come back and flag caps come across from Notorious, but it looks like Shady playing out of his mind, as you guys said. That last live, Harry, I know you touched him, but we have to go again. That was just absolutely incredible. And you could say that any one of these players, Shady, Legend, even SOG and Seeker, they're the best players in the game right now. And I think they're proving it week in, week out in these tournaments. And, well, people at home, people with me here, that was just another absolute epic weekend, epic Saturday of Halo EU action. And I mean, what we found out at the end, Cartel, again, they're continuing their time on the top, the kings of EU Halo right now. Notorious for new recent challengers. Can Mockit come back? Is there any other teams like Team Name in there who could potentially even challenge for that throne, depending on how the brackets go along? There's all these questions we raised, and next week, some of them hopefully may be answered. Can Cartel keep on top? It looks that way. But any closing statements from you guys here before we finish off?
Well, last week I said there was 3 things guaranteed in life. It's death, taxes, and Cartel winning, and they've gone and done it again. It's another win for them. And although a little bit shaky at times, they dropped the game to Team Name, they dropped the game to this Notorious roster. They still look to be the best around. And when they wobble, they regain, they recover. Harry, what do you have to say?
I mean, the champs are the champs, and there is absolutely. There is no one right now in Europe that could touch them. It's a shame that I won't be here next week. I'm moving house next week, so I won't be able to watch any of the games. But I have no doubt in my mind right now. I'm 99.5% sure that Cartel are going to win the next cup as well, because right now they look unstoppable. Yeah,
well, there you have it. You know, Cartel still just next week as well. Tune in to see and potentially win again. But one thing though we have to say is we're talking like, Team Name took a game off Cartel, Notorious game off. That's what we're saying. That's the big points we're mentioning against this Cartel team. It's not even teams pushing to a game 5. The first step is at game 4, and they just look leaps and bounds above. But just to touch upon the winner of our giveaway here, it's going to be Cosmos, however you say, has won the giveaway. So well done to him in the chat. Well done, Cosmos, for that. And again, as you said, Cartel on top, Notorious up there as well. What another week for European Halo action as well. Thank you all for everybody who's participated, watched at home, put your comments into the Twitch stream, all our production staff, the quality casting. Let's give it up for the casting duo here, Shersey and Wonderboy. What an absolute treat to have both these two legends here on casting with us. And sad to hear, Wonderboy, that you're not going to be here next week for your insight. Even if it just means could you even notice sit in a box in your new house or something like that?
I could probably phone in. The problem is I'm moving houses and moving boxes and like my bed and like all furniture and stuff. So you might hear me huffing and puffing a bit, but I'll see if I can phone in knowledge as well. Buy a satellite phone. Send me a GPS phone. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, of course. So then just watching it on a 1 pixel screen on your phone on a 4G whilst trying to cast over it, you know. But anyway, this is it, boys, for our week 2 of our coverage of the HCS Pro Series. Once again, thank you very much for my fellow casters there, Shersey and Wonderboy, and our production team, Spilly, running that cast, and everybody behind the scenes as well. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing. It's been an absolutely quality week, and let's see what happens next Saturday. See you guys later.
Say that, Harry, they throw things. We need to stop over. Oh no! Plummet's not alone here. Oh no, Plummet!
Desire here needs to watch out.
Oh, big nades. Oh, big nades.